morning, holy brothers and sisters! It is the 24th of IYAR, the 39th day of the Omer for those counting, and today's lesson in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan will be called HISBODIDUS, HIATUS, teaching number 104. This lesson explains the reason why the Midrash states that because Moshe called the tribes of Gad and Reuben a band of sinful men, he was punished by having his grandson worship the idol of Micha. Teaching number 105, repentance primarily depends on the Torah. Specifically, when a person studies Torah, laboring it until he merits to deduce other things from the things that he has learned, and to develop new Torah ideas for the sake of heaven, this is complete repentance. Then this person returns and binds all the letters and the letter combinations that are in his portion from the totality of the worlds back to their root and to their place. He retrieves them from all the places to which they were expelled and scattered, and he becomes a new person. We know that by fixing all the root letters and words which make up this physical world, he thereby recreates himself through the process of teshuvah. Then his mind is truly settled, and he merits to awaken God's compassion until he merits that God himself should pray for him. In other words, that God, with his lower level of simple compassion, will arouse his own higher level of abundant and great compassion. Then the person will experience a great and total show of salvation. Amen. Every slight stroke of a piano key down here in this physical world creates beautiful and harmonic orchestral music in the higher, holier heavens. Teaching number 106. When a person is in a state of constricted consciousness, he must strengthen himself and strive to come to a state of expanded consciousness. Then, when he reaches a state of expanded consciousness, all the strict judgments are mitigated, and he draws divine loving kindness and compassion upon himself. If, however, he is unable to come to expanded consciousness on his own, then the solution for him is to teach others wisdom. In this way, his consciousness will also be awakened. This idea is that by helping others, we are, in a sense, also helping ourselves. Teaching number 107. When the evil inclination rises up against you to tempt you to haughtiness and to think that you are already in the category of the tzaddik who rules with the fear of God, from 2 Shmuel 23:3, and that God's will, so to speak, is in your hands, since we are taught, who rules over me? The tzaddik. Moed Katan 16b, then you must employ this very same claim as its own response and say, how can I possibly rule when I am haughty and proud and God does not dwell with me? As our sages of blessed memory said, from Erchin 15b and Sota 5a. We're never done working in this world. We have to recognize that we have to keep striving, as we can keep climbing higher on that spiritual ladder. Teaching number 108, when a person is praying with the proper attachment to God, or when he secludes himself to speak with God in HISBODIDUS with the proper feeling, and in the middle he falls from his level, this is brought about by a flaw in his faith. Then he must feel brokenhearted and ashamed that he fell as he did, and was cast down from heaven to earth, and he must feel great pity for himself until he sighs over this, because through this sigh, he will return to his level. We have to realize and remember that when something distracts or interrupts us from our holy focus and concentration, it is not random. God uses everything in our lives to teach us lessons for us to seek how we can grow from that too. As always, thank you so much for learning together. And if you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow. And please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.